Hello everyone, we are here and we are officially returning to Hoth. I'm Zach.
And I'm Tim.
And we are going to take a peek inside of one of my favorite releases of all time, which is Return to Hoth. Taking us
so
to
pretty.
One of the greatest settings in the whole Star Wars universe, Hoth, opening of The Empire Strikes Back. Like, I've always been floored with that whole environment. So I'm very excited.
Wait. You're a fan of Empire Strikes Back?
Turns out it's a pretty okay movie. So if you're watching this and you're into Imperial Assault, or maybe you're not, there's two big sides to this game. There's Skirmish and there's Campaign, and sometimes people don't play both of those. So if you're not into one or the other, we're kind of dividing the discussions here in the same video. So we're going to start with Campaign. We're going to go over some of the heroes and the new Imperial classes and what we're looking forward to. And then we're going to switch over to Skirmish. So if you just want to skip ahead to Skirmish, there will be a link on the video and in the description, so you can pop over and just hear about the things that you want to hear about. So we're going to dive in, and we're going to start off with one of the heroes. Let's see. Let's go here.
Yep. Seems like a good call.
All right. We're going to start with Loku. Kanoloa.
Loku Kanoloa.
Kanoloa. Is that it?
Sure.
Is that right? All right.
Kanoloa.
Anyways, he is this awesome Mon Cal looking guy who has this sweet cape. If you check out his model, it's just like flying in the background.
For those of you that don't know, Zach is historically a big fan of capes.
Capes are cool. Hence why the Vader... I'm a fan of Vader. Not really. I mean, there's a lot of... we're not going to dive there. Anyways, so let's start off here. He's got 10 health, 5 endurance, 5 speed. He rolls a white die, which means he's a dodger.
He plays for the Dodgers?
Good joke. He has Set Your Sights. So for 2 strain, use the start or end of your activation to place 1 recon token on a hostile figure in your line of sight.
Okay, what does recon token do, Zach? Do we know?
I have no idea.
All right, perfect. Next card.
All right. We need to find that out.
Well, no, keep reading.
Oh. While you or a friendly figure is attacking a figure with a recon token, apply +1 damage to the attack results. Hey! There's the answer. And he also has Clear-Minded while attacking, apply +2 accuracy to the attack results. So he can just always shoot from 2.
So he just always has range 2. What's his weapon, Zach?
Well, his weapon, which comes in his deck of cards that you can...
His class deck?
Class deck. And this is what he starts with, right? You start with this weapon.
Yeah, you start with that weapon.
He has the all-weather rifle. Seems like he's ready for the snow. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Anyways, it's a projectile, it's a rifle, it's a blue and a green. So with his +2 accuracy, he's already going to be able to hit from like, what is that, 5 guaranteed? And probably
5
like...
guaranteed.
More than that if he really needs to. I mean, that could be like, that's 9, I think, max.
Keep reading the abilities on that rifle, then.
All right. +1 accuracy. Oh, we're already getting long distance here. So he's a sniper.
He can be a sniper.
Look at the gun, though. It's real.
Oh, yeah. No, it is a real gun.
He can also surge for weakened, which is cool, and then surge for Pierce 1. So not the greatest rifle, but he's going to be shooting from downtown.
Here's the thing. He can shoot from downtown, like you said. He's applying extra damage because he's reconning. He's binocularing around. And then... he can shoot from further away, and he has Pierce and Weaken, which means you can go with him first. Now, set up some things.
Weaken in the campaign is a notable thing.
Yes,
I'm a very skirmish-minded player, putting that out there. So Weaken, it's like it can really mean not very much, but I think in campaign you have that one guy you need to get.
Yeah,
it's like we're gonna dogpile on Vader.
Yeah. No, it's like it's what you need.
And the +1 damage is actually surprisingly good. So.
Okay. So
and then on his bloodied, is it called bloodied? Bloodied side, he keeps Set Your Sights, so he keeps both the 2 strain to give a recon token and the +1, which is good. If you lost that, then those recon tokens that you earned up front would do nothing. But he does lose Clear-Minded because he's hurt.
He's no longer clear-minded.
So he's no longer super accurate, and that's Loku. And I'm going to go over one of his class deck cards. Mm-hmm. It's 4 XP, so it's one of the juicier ones, and that's something you'd rather not know for some reason. You have access to this information as soon as you start using this hero. So no spoilers-ish.
Sort of spoilers-ish, but no big spoilers.
Anyways, when you have this, it's called Mon Cala Special Forces.
Okay, that sounds cool.
He's so cool looking.
He sounds really cool. Keep going.
He gets +1 Surge Cancel.
Okay. On defense. Seems good.
I would hope it's on defense. +1 accuracy. So again, just shooting from downtown. This guy's going to be shooting from like 18 across the map. I swear. By the end of this campaign,
have you ever seen Wanted, where they snipe from across the city?
I have no.
Okay, that's fine.
Remember the conversation we had this morning?
Yeah.
Anyways, exhaust this card when a hostile figure with a recon token is defeated to recover 2 strain or become focused.
That seems pretty good.
That's pretty good.
So you could recon like a stormtrooper.
Nuke him, and then now you're focused, or you're less strained.
Now, does he have to kill the person? Or just whenever?
With a recon token is defeated.
So anytime...
It's like recon. Anytime they die, you're just loading up.
Well, you can only have 1 focus.
But you can also remove all your strain.
Yeah.
For freezies.
Boo.
Cool. He's a very cool new hero, and I think the next time I play a campaign, he might be the guy. There's another person who I'm looking at right now. We'll get to her in a minute.
All right. So up next, we're gonna talk about MHD-19.
Is this the first hero droid?
I believe so. And by I believe so, I mean it is the first.
It absolutely is. Right?
MHD, the medical health droid 19. Okay, he has 12 health, 4 endurance. He's not very durable. 4 speed, a black defense die.
Okay.
He has 3 abilities. He has medical loadout. You can, as an action, spend a strain to search the supply deck for a medical card and claim that card. Then shuffle the supply deck.
Okay.
So you can just go get...
Turns out he knows where the medical stuff is.
He's mechanical, so he cannot be affected by abilities on medical cards.
Okay.
And then he's ready for service. At the end of your activation, if you did not perform an attack, you become focused.
Interesting.
His weapon here is...
I was going to say, what kind of weapon does this guy have?
The Sidearm Blaster.
All right.
It's like a gun that's built into his hand almost.
What?
It is a blue and yellow.
Blue and yellow.
And it has Surge for Stun.
Okay.
And Surge for Pierce 1.
Stun on a hero is the Bugatti.
It's really good.
Try not to use that word. It came out, I'm sorry.
On his bloodied side, he loses ready for service, so he doesn't become focused anymore.
Okay, 12 health's pretty good too.
He has several cards that are all very good.
Did we mention he has stun?
He has stun. But this card that we picked is 4 experience, like the other one. At the start of each round, each friendly figure within 2 spaces recovers 1 strain and 1 damage for each of your activation tokens.
What?
Yeah. So
if he's the guy with the extra activation token in a non-4-player game,
correct,
it gets real wild.
He can heal some things.
Okay, so if you're the kind of player
he's support
who wants to be a support person and doesn't want to be named Gideon, the MHD is cool. I think in a 4-player game, he's really useful.
Yeah, I mean, he can just heal so many things.
Like the other heroes. Yeah. Cool. I think it's cool.
It's just a support character.
All right, we're going to get to the final additional hero featured in the Return to Hoth box. Verena Talos, and she is also very cool looking. She's got like her hand over here, like on her comm. She has 12 health, which is pretty strong, 5 endurance, which is good, 4 speed, and she's rolling a black defense die. Got a little more armor than old Loku. Close quarters, 2 strain. Used when an adjacent hostile figure is defeated to interrupt to perform an attack using that figure's attack type and attack pool. The attack gains Surge for +2 accuracy and +1 damage. So you can strain when an adjacent hostile figure is defeated to attack with that hostile figure.
That seems good. Well, you were attacking.
Yeah.
But with their attack.
Their stats, basically, yeah.
So like I shank a dude, and then I shoot a
stormtrooper, and then you get to use his dice to attack.
That's cool. And it gains its type as well?
Figures attack type and attack pool.
Nice. So if I don't have ranged,
then you do.
Then I can.
And you also surge.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. Yeah, I'm in.
Very cool. And then she also has duck and weave. While defending, if you are adjacent to a hostile figure other than the attacker, apply +1 surge cancel to the defense results. Nice. So this is really interesting because she wants to get in there next to the enemies, which is a hero I don't think we've really seen. I mean, you have the Wookiee Garkin who wants to just get in there and beat stuff up, but this is like...
She is close quarters.
Yeah, which is...
What's her weapon, Zach?
She has a military blaster, which looks very cool as just a gun.
Okay. As far as guns go.
This is the art. I mean, check out the art. Blue and yellow.
Blue
solid.
And yellow, blue and yellow.
Yeah, there we are. Double surge for +2 damage. Surge
bad.
for +1 accuracy and pierce 1. Pretty good. When sold, this item is worth 25 credits.
Nice. So normally whenever you sell your starting items...
You get nothing.
You get nothing.
It's just dropping it so you can hold more stuff. So that's an okay weapon. I like blue and yellow. It's got some range. You're going to get the surge. Yeah, it's good.
Sweet. It's very good.
Next up, we have Master Operative, 4 XP, so it's one of the good ones. Apply +1 endurance to your hero. That is... Endurance is key. Side
pretty
note.
Good. So 6 endurance
in
is
campaign,
far more significant than 5.
Yep. And it says Exhaustless Card when you declare an attack using close quarters. So when her ability triggers and you get to attack with someone else's dice to become focused. Focus is a big deal. Putting that out there.
It's an extra dice.
So she's really cool, and when she's bloodied, of course, she loses duck and weave, which happens. And so I'm going to be honest. I don't know who your favorite is here, but Loki is my man.
Loki's my favorite.
Yeah.
I think.
He's just from downtown.
They're all interesting, but I think that you have to factor in the cape, and then the cape crazy.
Really, it puts it over the edge.
Right? It's the tipping point. All right, let's talk about these Imperial class cards.
Okay, let's hit it. So in the box, you get 2 new classes that the Imperial player can choose, which kind of affects the units they're going to want to play, and then also just how they effectively play the game. So
yeah, they're pretty cool. So the first one is Armored Onslaught. This is the name of the class deck.
Okay.
This is the card that you start with. So there's one card you start with, and you have to spend XP on all of the other things.
It's sort of like a hero's like starting weapon, right?
Sort of like the starting weapon.
It sort of defines you.
You can exhaust this card, which means to just tap it, when an Imperial figure declares a ranged attack. Okay?
Okay, it seems all right.
You can replace one of your attack die with a red die, and the attack gains blast 1.
Blast.
Straight up. So I'm adding a red die, and it's blast 1.
Well, you're switching to a red die.
Yeah, switching.
Yeah.
Which is worth it.
Yeah, especially when you have like stormtroopers you can reroll, and so you can use that every turn, right?
Yeah, it's just really good. And then the second card
Right.
that I chose to look at today is a 4 experience card. It is
Right.
You can exhaust this card, which is also tapping, while an Imperial figure is defending, and choose one of the following keywords: Pierce, Blast, Cleave, or any condition keyword. During this attack, the chosen keyword has no effect. Then you may pay 1 threat to ready this card.
What? So I say this in probably every video I've ever been in, but my favorite kind of cards are the kind that just change the game by being around. Like they're just on the board. Mm-hmm. And so it's this kind of situation where it's like, I got 3 stormtroopers who are right here, and you have blast, and you want to get in there, use your attack, and like blast me.
No longer.
And it's like this just sitting there means that like you have to like annoyingly work through this card. So that's a really good card. And you can ready it with a threat. You know, you have extra threat laying around. Let's be real.
It's true. There's usually like 1 or 2 spare threat just hanging on.
Okay. And what was the name of that class?
Armored Onslaught. And
cool.
This has a lot of things that do with vehicles and heavy weapons as well. It's a very interesting class deck. If you're an Imperial player, I recommend looking through it.
Yeah. If you like, big guns.
And then the next class deck is called Precision Training.
Okay.
Now, I'm just going to spoil you guys. This is my favorite class deck to date.
To date.
Among
all the classes of an Imperial player. And you've had a fair amount of Imperial experience.
I have. That's the only thing I've played in campaign.
That's really weird. Why do you always get chosen? You're so...
I don't know. I'm okay with it, though. So the starting card you get in this one is an attachment.
Okay.
So you attach it to a unit whenever you deploy a unit. Whenever that unit's destroyed, it goes back to your hand, and you can keep doing that every time you play a unit.
Hold on. Say that again?
It's like you have a deployment card.
Oh, you attach it to a unit.
You attach it to a deployment card.
Yeah.
And this says, while attacking, you may reroll 1 attack die. Just straight up.
You know what's good?
Rerolling dice.
Rerolling dice in a dice game is
It's
really
very good. And this is just an attachment. It's like, boom.
I'm just picturing with stormtroopers. It's like you just reroll until you get exactly what
you get 2 rerolls.
Yeah, that's good.
You're next to each other.
Yeah. All right.
So that's just generically great.
Yep.
And then,
generically great. That's right.
And then
there needs to be a shirt.
the second card that we chose, it's called Single-Minded. It's 4 experience. You exhaust this card when an Imperial figure rerolls an attack die.
Which your basic thing is that you can reroll. Mm-hmm. I got it.
Instead of rerolling that die, change that die's result to another result of your choice on that die. You can spend 1 threat to ready this card.
You know what's better than a reroll?
Choosing what your dice is on.
Choosing what side you want. That's like Palpatine from X-Wing, but like
it's just so good. And this does not have to be from your class card. It's like Stormtroopers rerolls count.
Yeah.
Just straight up.
Woo! All right. I wonder why you like that deck so much.
Because it's consistent.
Is that why you're freaking out in the office back there?
Yeah,
you're looking through?
Woo! Oh wow,
man, that's the juice. All right.
It's just really good, and it's everything about that class deck. I was looking through it, and it's just like, that's good. That's
what you
good.
Want. Yeah. Well, Power Imperial. So that is a brief look at the campaign side of Return to Hoth. Now, also worth mentioning, a whole new set of map tiles that are incredible, just snow-themed awesomeness and ice.
And some new missions and things as well.
And then an entirely new campaign. From the get-go, the core set had a campaign. We had Twin Shadows. Twin Shadows, is that right? Is that the name of the
expansion?
Yeah. Too many Star Wars Deluxes in my brain.
I always want to call it Twin Suns. And it's not correct.
Black Sunbox. Anyways, it's a whole new campaign. It's not derivative. You do mix in some of the older stuff into it, but it's a whole new story, and I haven't played it yet, but I'm very excited to dive in.
Super excited to play
it. Hoth is one of the best settings ever. So that's the campaign stuff, and as kind of a segue into the skirmish section of this video, we have Leia Organa. Mm-hmm. And the reason that this functions as a segue is because she comes with 2 cards.
What?
2. Twice the fun. And she does that because it's sort of like R2 when he came out. There is a campaign and a skirmish version, which I really dig because it's allowing you to basically make them as good in both formats. A lot of times you kind of give up one or the other, which we'll see. There's a reason. She has very specific abilities to the thing. So we'll start with the campaign, and then we'll officially be in full-on skirmish mode, which I'm very excited to talk about. So Leia Organa, 8 points. She's a leader. She's a spy.
Fair price.
She's unique. She has a built-in surge cancel. She can surge for +2 damage. She can surge for recover 2. I hear that's good. She can surge for +3 accuracy, which is strong.
3 accuracy?
Mm-hmm. And she has 8 health, 5 speed. She rolls a white die, so she's dodgier. And she rolls a blue, yellow, yellow. Now, all those stats are the same on both cards.
3 dice?
3 dice, yeah.
And one of them is blue?
And 2 of them
are yellows.
Surge City. That's what we call that.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, so she's really good, and she has a built-in surge cancel, which is also really good. She also has battlefield leadership, which is an action. Perform an attack, then choose a friendly figure within 3 spaces. That figure may interrupt to perform an attack with the same target. What?
That ability is disgustingly good.
Oh, man. The first time I saw this, my mind was just exploding with, like, glee and joy and awesomeness. It's like, all right, in a campaign, you have your hero, right? And it's like, oh, we're both going to shoot on Leia's turn, and then I'm going to shoot with my hero. It's just so good.
It's very good.
Yep.
That's a very good ability.
Yep. So in the campaign version, she has Surge Aggressive Negotiations, which... Classy. I just realized that was the name of that. Choose and exhaust 1 Imperial class card.
Okay, so she can surge to tap one of the Imperial player's cards.
That seems okay.
That's a very good ability.
Yeah.
That's a very good ability. That's strong.
Yep. And in Skirmish, she has Military Efficiency, which for a surge, she can choose 1 command card in your discard pile and shuffle it into your command deck.
That is bomb.
So before we get to that, because I think Leia just changes the Skirmish game, period, the campaign version is incredible. So when you do get to bring Leia into these missions, I think she's fantastic. Tapping or exhausting Imperial class cards is... Have you seen that before? On a character? I don't think so.
There are some things that have done it before.
Like an effect or some weapon.
It's usually like a class card that is... it's also worth noting that you can't just like always have Leia on your team.
Yeah,
it's like you have to earn her in a side mission or have a mission specifically with Leia.
And then when you do bring her, it ups the threat.
Correct.
And that kind of thing. But she is really good.
So there are risks.
There are risks. But she's really good. Now,
she's pretty good.
In Skirmish, which is where we're now heading, this is one of the greatest units in the history of the game.
She's so good.
I think Luke at 10 points is primarily because of Son of Skywalker. His command card is it's probably the best unit in the game.
He's the best unit in the game, I would say that.
But Leia, as an 8-point addition, is just incredible. So, just to give you a frame of reference, you attack with Luke, right? You can saber strike or shoot. Then Leia walks up and she's like, oh, I'm going to shoot. And I'm now within 3 of Luke, who lets me reroll, which is cool. And I'm also going to let Luke attack, which is cool. And then when I do attack, I can spend a surge to get a command card back, which, oh man, Son of Skywalker goes back into my deck? This is crazy. Tim had a turn the other day against my Vader, and he just nuked Vader in 2 turns with these guys. Like, it was just like, Vader went from...
There was also a unit of saboteurs involved.
Yeah, but he went from totally healthy to dead. Like it was nothing.
It's just a lot of attacks and a lot of dice.
And I think the most important thing to note on her is that because she's letting another unit attack, she becomes particularly aggressively good with other units that have recover.
Yeah.
So there's, the typical Luke and the Sabs, and you add Leia in, and like it's a very strong list. I have been using it with Luke and with Diala because Diala has a reroll ability. She also has the discard a command card to remove a defense die.
Yeah. And
that pairs really nicely with Leia because you can get those cards back and kind of keep shuffling through.
Yeah. No, it's really dirty. Yeah. Dirty good.
Dirty pop. All right, that's Leia. What else we got?
Up next.
I hear there's some good units in this box.
All right, so we have the HK Assassin Droid.
All right.
This is an 8-point unit.
Scum getting some love.
With 2 models.
All right.
It has 5 health per model, 4 speed, a black defense dice, blue, blue, yellow for attack.
It's really bad.
That's really good.
I'm just kidding. It's insane.
That's really good.
So what's the minimum? Is that 5 spaces? Nah, the surge you can get a no
it's
range
4.
on that. So it's minimum of 4 spaces, which is good.
Likelihood of like 6.
Now, is there anything else that would up the odds of that on this card? What's going on here?
There are 3 surge abilities on this card. There's Surge for Weaken,
all right,
which is good.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's not the best in Skirmish, but it's not bad.
It's not focused, I'll say that.
You have Surge for +1 damage, which is good. And then you have Surge for Pierce 1, which is also good.
Okay.
So these are all 3 good abilities.
And you're rolling yellow, so odds are good.
And then it has 2 abilities. The first one is Versatile Weaponry.
All right.
While attacking, you may force the defender to reroll 1 defense dice.
You know what's really good?
Rerolling defense dice.
Rerolling dice ever, but rerolling your opponent's dice, because the literally worst thing in Skirmish, the worst possible thing is that dodge. That dang dodge.
Every time. It just makes you want to vomit.
This makes the odds of that go way down.
It's so good.
Okay, so that's the first ability. What's the second one?
The second ability is while attacking, or it's targeting computer. While attacking, you may reroll one attack die.
Hot dang.
Hot dog.
So you're telling me that you can reroll attack and defense dice.
You can reroll attack and defense dice.
So the odds are this guy's going to be hitting from like 5 to 7 spaces away.
On average.
And if you're rolling a white die, you're probably in trouble.
You're probably dead.
Like, because you get a reroll. Now, we looked this up. The rule on, like, because, all right, so what happens if I have a reroll because I like Luke, and you have a reroll because of this guy? Who rerolls first?
Initiative.
And whoever has initiative. So that's actually important to know.
It's important.
Because if you're attacking Leia, and I have initiative, then I have to use my reroll before you do. Same backwards, but you have something like a Diallo, right, who has the natural reroll built in. And it's like, I have to trigger mine before you choose.
Yeah.
And then I roll a dodge, and you're like, reroll it. So that guy is remarkably good.
He's so good. Points. And you can also, so here's what we've been doing here around the Covenant Storm.
Around the old Covenant.
We have been importing into Scum as a faction.
Importing?
We've been importing Gideon and 3PO.
Because you can do that. You can splash 2 Rebel guys with the Alliance.
So for 6 points, you're getting focused AK droids.
You know what's really good? Blue, yellow, green.
From 8 to 9 spaces away.
I had an HK assassinate my R2 unit from 9 spaces.
Yeah, that will happen.
And like he has 2 dodges. It's just like,
I will say this is the best group in the game. Group.
Greater than Sabs?
Greater than Sabs.
Greater than Royal Guards?
This eats Sabs.
Greater than Royal Guards?
Yeah.
Greater than Royal Guards before the rules change?
It's different. I don't know. I don't have to make that analyzation.
Okay, analyzation. Yes. So these guys are remarkably good, and if you haven't used them yet and you play Skirmish, you're crazy. They change the game. They make Scum legitimate, and there are people, and I'm not one of them, but there are people that say this is the best unit in the game.
They're at least...
It's fair to say best group, I think.
Top 2.
It's hard. Sabs are good. Anyways, so for 8 points, that's pretty good.
It's great.
As in incredible.
Then we have the elite versions.
All right.
Which are 11 points. So for 3 points, we're gaining a health. So each have 6 health instead. You are also gaining a second surge for +1 damage. You still have versatile weaponry, and you also have targeting computer, but you're also gaining priority target, which means you ignore intermediate models. So it's good.
So, I mean, that's really, I think, a play. I don't know that I spend 3 points on it, but I do spend 3 points on it if I just have 3 points left.
Yeah.
Like, I have my list built, I have what I want, and I've done my stuff, and it's like, man, I have 3 points left, and I don't have officers to slot into this.
Right.
I don't have command, whatever. So I don't expect to see this guy a whole lot, but I do expect to see it when the points don't add up, right?
Yeah. No, I agree completely.
Yeah.
That basic unit though, it's real good.
For real though.
All right. Up next, we have the Snow Trooper, who comes in at 7 points. With 3 models.
Pause. So this is the Snow Trooper, which regardless of his goodness or badness in the game, I'm going to be using. Putting that out there. So
you're a fan of Snow Trooper.
Crossing fingers, hoping this guy's okay.
7 points for 3 models.
Yep. I like that, man.
4 health, 4 speed, black defense dice.
Okay.
Blue and green attack.
All right. So there are no HK.
There are no HK.
All right.
They have Surge for Weaken.
Okay.
They have Surge for Pierce 1.
Okay.
And they have Surge for 2 accuracy.
That's right.
They have an action, which is environmental recovery gear.
Tell me more.
You and each friendly trooper may either recover 1 damage or discard 1 harmful condition.
That's so good.
It's ridiculous.
It's so good.
It makes troopers so much better.
Man, this is so good. And this is, you know what? This is not even, we kind of called it wrong a little bit. This isn't Skirmish only. These guys are in campaign. Like
they are.
I just thought about that. As I'd never even pictured these guys in campaign. These guys are silly. Like, get out of town. So good, troopers. This guy is. I'm so happy. I'm really so happy about this unit being as good as he is. So I think this has me looking at troopers in a real way.
I mean, I think he's very good. 7.3 models is great. So it's 1 point more than this typical stormtrooper,
and way better.
It's different. This is less offensive.
Well, I think the thing about this is it's not I don't think you run a bunch of them.
I think you run a unit of snowtroopers and then also other troopers.
Yeah, because this just adds so much to the relevancy of all those troopers. Like,
yeah.
Because
especially if you're running reinforcements,
guys, right? You have 3 of these guys on the board. So like I can like have 2 guys here that are damaged, and it's like walk up, H heal, move, walk another one up, heal, move, and it's like
there's nothing more frustrating than doing damage to someone
and it just disappears,
and then it just goes away.
Yeah. So
like, why do I even do?
Tell me about the elites, because I'm honest, I'm excited about this.
All right. So the elites, 10 points.
All right. So three more points. What do we get?
They get Pierce 2 instead of Pierce 1.
That's relevant.
They get +3 accuracy instead of +2.
Okay, better.
And then instead of weaken, they get focus weaken, which is significantly better.
It's at least 2 times better.
It's significantly better. 2 times.
They also gain some health, right?
They gain 2 health.
Okay.
And then they also gain an additional ability called Efficient Travel. You ignore additional movement point costs for difficult terrain and hostile figures.
So water, debris, snow,
and
deep snow pockets, whatever. Yeah. Hey, you know what is the most significant number on this card? Outside all that stuff?
Don't tell me. 6?
Nope.
Okay, don't tell me.
One more guess. Then we're going with it.
2?
No. The most significant number on this card is 3. Reinforcement cost is 3. 3. Why is that important, Tim? You want me to tell you why it's important?
I know.
Because there are command cards that say, choose a unit with a reinforcement card of 3 or less and put one back into play that's been dead.
It's good.
So with these guys, and you can run 2 of those. So all of a sudden, these guys fit into that. And it's like they have 6 health. They have a black die, so they're going to be decently hard to kill. Plus, they can heal themselves and their friendly troopers. And then, once you kill them, they just come back. You know what's annoying? A 6 health stormtrooper that can heal coming back from the dead. A zombie trooper. I just had an idea of painting troopers as zombies, and it's really incredible.
You should.
Anyways,
no, it's very good. It's a very good card.
This to me, the basic is fine. I think in a campaign he'll get used a lot. I think in the trooper deck he'll get used when your points are tight. This is the unit that makes troopers viable. I'm calling it. That unit makes troopers viable right now.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
This moment. Which I'm very excited about. So, any other thoughts on any of those units?
No, I mean, I think that we covered the majority of things. HK for life.
I have another thing. So, one thing I want to mention before we move on to the last piece of this is that Leia Organa, her cards come in the box. Her model does not. Sort of like the core set you had Boba Fett and Han and Chewie. So, I don't want you expecting to get Leia when you open this box. So she's not there, but she's in her own little expansion pack. So check that out. Last thing I want to mention about this box is this. You know, of course, you get new map tiles, new maps, new scenarios, and you definitely get that in here. But this is very cool. I had no idea it was coming, and I had no idea what to expect. But what you also get in this box, besides the normal A/B scenario for Skirmish, is an A/B scenario for Greater Than Skirmish, which features a 2v2 format and a 4-player free-for-all. You know what never crossed my mind, ever?
2v2 or free-for-all?
Ever. Like, I opened the box and I was like, oh my goodness. We can do a 4-player game? This is incredible.
No, it's super fun.
Yeah, so I won't dive into what these scenarios are, but maybe we'll pop this up on the screen. These maps are awesome.
They're huge. Okay, so
You've played on it.
I've played on
I haven't.
I played the 2v2 scenario. And that map is ginormous. It's like, bro.
I don't know if it's that big.
It's not, but it's really big. And it's really fun, and I highly recommend you try it.
You played Tribe 2. I'm going to try the free-for-all soon.
I mean, I want to try both of them, and I wouldn't mind on a semi-regular basis playing them. They're just super fun.
Wouldn't mind. It'd be painful. Yeah. Just a little bit of pain.
It's like pulling one tooth.
All right, so that has been our unboxing of Return to Hoth. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we have plenty more Imperial Assault content coming. If you don't have this already, you can buy it from us on our web store. We also have command tokens, which are custom tokens and bases and activations for this game. I can't sing the song of the bases and activations enough. They changed the way that you play, especially with troopers being relevant now. I think bases are even more incredible. So if you haven't checked out command tokens yet, I highly recommend it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you on our next Imperial Assault video.
See you guys.
See you.